Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I am good. Look,
Am I going to hug
shake,
you? Am I going to hug you?
Nope, all good.
We are off to a good start.
Yes.
It's kind of cool to see you in irregular clothes.
This is me all the time, though. So that's what trips me out. I guess, I don't know, I guess it's because folks associate me with work more than anything else. But it's like, I'm not at work all the time, am I? And
Are
then
you?
Think about that, it was like, I might be. I just might be.
So what's your morning routine usually?
Sleep as long as I can and hit snooze about good 5, 6, 7 times. I just value every little extra minute that I have because I've been waking up early for so long, for so many years.
So your boys are both away at college?
Yeah, they're both in school.
If you had to describe your parenting style, what would it be?
I'm strict and I'm firm when I need to be, but they know. It's done with love. My grandmother was the matriarch of the family and she was no joke. No joke. So who knew? And I thought she was kind of mean when I was coming up. And then I guess I turned into her a little bit. I don't know.
You know, you told me that to really relax, sometimes you have to just leave the city. You get out.
I do.
So I'm taking you out of the city.
Who knew? Look, we on the run. I like it. I like it. Okay.
So what's your perfect way to unwind?
I love to cook, so for me, it would be having a small group of people over, and I've already gone to the store, and I just make a whole spread. I might sip on a little something while I'm doing it. I'll have, you know, my music on in the background, and just hang out and chill. I really, really enjoy doing that.
What music do you love? Who are you listening to?
I'm big into neo soul. I'm still a huge fan of 90s R&B. Always will be. So it might even be gospel, depending on what I'm going through. If I'm just trying to get my mind right for the day on my way to work, usually it's gospel. But if I know it's a day I got to put my face on because I know somebody's trying to come for me, and I have to spend a day of being on the defense, it might be Tupac. I mean, it just,
oh wow!
Seriously.
You have tattoos. Are you getting any more?
Probably. I just gotta find some more, real estate. I have a butterfly. I have a treble clef. I used to want to sing.
Do you still sing?
Not really.
Not at all?
No.
Come on now.
Mm-mm.
A little bit?
Shower.
La la la?
Nope.
Not here?
Not even a do, re, mi. No, ma'am. Nope.
Shut down. You're friends with Damian Lillard, right? Aren't you? And he's a rapper. Would you ever do something for charity?
Mm-mm. That's very manipulative.
Damian.
Nope.
That's very manipulative. I've never been called manipulative before.
The charity part is manipulative. It's like, don't pull at what you know I care about. Nope. Mm-mm.
You gotta go for it, right?
Mm-mm.
You gotta go for it. People are so fascinated with you.
Really?
Don't you think?
No.
Oh, yes, I do. I think people want to know about you. They want to know about your personal life. They want to know.
Is fascinated the word?
I do think so.
Okay, well, that's good. That's positive.
I do think so.
I didn't know that.
Yes, because you're so different than anything the city of Portland has ever had. I mean, you check a lot of boxes for firsts. You know that.
Yeah,
That's been your press.
And I don't want to sound like a negative Nancy or anything, but to me it seems like I'm this novelty. And because there's still this unknown, folks don't really know how to either approach it or how they should see me or perceive me. But I don't always see it in a good way. Because if that were the case, it seems as though things would be made a lot more easier than they have been, or the headlines would be a little bit more either balanced or optimistic, or instead of, trying to find the bad in everything. And I didn't realize this until I got here. I absorb people's energy. And it can be mentally draining, especially after 14 hours sometimes. And the highs and the lows. And I've met people where, you know, they're just super excited to see me and we're happy you're here. Thank you very much. And I'm like, hey, that's great, you know? And then I'll meet people who are equally happy and excited, and then they're in tears. I'm like, uh-oh, this is okay, you know? Yes.
Why? Why are they in tears?
Because they're happy for me to be here. You know, so it's like these different levels of emotion.
You're talking about as a Black woman in a power position.
Yeah.
Got it.
Then you'll get maybe transition from that on the street, and then I'm walking into a meeting and, you know, they might not be the friendliest. And it's not against me personal, but just, you know, against the police or the system, what we represent. I absorb that too. I think when maybe in the first couple of weeks, I'd be like, oh my gosh, why am I so just mentally on full? And that's why.
What do you do for yourself?
I completely unplug. And I have been struggling with whether or not, because I haven't been doing a good job these past 2 years, I like to completely cut it off. And so when I'm out and about, or if I'm out here, I have dinner or whatever, and somebody comes up to me and says, you know, hi, you're Chief Outlaw. And I'll go, no, I'm just Danielle. And, you know, and recently a colleague told me, no, you're always the chief. You have to embrace that. And when you embrace the lifestyle that you're always on all the time, your stress level will just drop completely. I don't believe that, because I don't always want to be on. I don't think, you know, I have a right to want to have my own private space. I would love to be able to say when I unplug that I don't bring my work phone with me. That's not true.
You have to.
I guess.
To.
Yeah.
My Lord, I don't even know what that must be like.
It sucks. I carry 2 phones with me everywhere I go.
Okay, then this is the question. Why do you want to do this job?
Yeah, that's a good look. I think I would be foolish to not ask myself that often, because you have to, if at some point, if you don't know the answer, then I think it's time to tap out. I have to be constantly reminded or remind myself, one, that my purpose is far greater than me. So if I have a bad day or a bad week or a bad month, I have to, you know, why did you come here in the first place? For me, I'm very passionate about the work that I do. And I also think, you know, you get me while I have the energy to do it. But for my own just personal well-being, at some point, I am going to have to say, okay, this work takes a toll on you. And it's not just here in Portland, anywhere, any chief's job, any police officer's job. And that whenever that day comes where I wake up and be like, I don't feel like doing this today, then that's when I think I need to start having the conversations with myself. But I haven't had that yet. Or when I had, I kind of recenter and remind myself of what my true north is.
Is being chief in Portland what you expected?
Oh, heck no. Heck no.
In what regard?
Getting used to or learning the culture is the largest adjustment that I've ever had to make, ever, in my life.
Tell me
professionally.
Details.
So, it's very relational here, which I didn't really know. I mean, I knew it, but I didn't know. It's different when you live it. So where do you live? What do you do? Did you work today? Well, you know, and these are things that I'm not used to, because, you know, being an outsider, I'm like, wait a minute, that's a little you in my space here. But it's just expected, because that's, you know, culturally, that's what people do. Everybody either knows each other, specifically in certain communities, because they're so small, but they want to get to know you, which isn't always a bad thing. But then that can be taken as me being off-putting, because I'm extremely guarded. I'm like, look, I don't know you. You don't know me. Yes, I'm a public figure. I don't know if you know I'm a public figure, right? And I have to keep certain things close to my chest, just not just for security reasons, but because I want to.
So do you think that you're guarded because you have spent your entire life as a police officer, or do you think you're guarded because that's just who you are, that's your temperament?
No, it's not my temperament. And I think that's where a lot of the dissonance comes in for me. I'm not used to that. I've never had to live in such a guarded fashion. And I've been a police officer my entire adult life. So growing up and working in the same city where I'm from, which is Oakland, people didn't get me to, you know, I can go out in my sweats, hoodie, flip-flops, do whatever, nobody batted an eye. And one, it's because I wasn't a novelty. But it was where I'm from, you know, it's my hometown. But here it's different because it's the fascination that you're talking about. And everything has to happen in moderation, right? So some people can become fascinated too much to where it becomes a security issue. And then some people are fascinated because they're fascinated. And then you got those folks that are fascinated and it can almost become offensive, right? So I'm about to, you know, it's raining. Well, it will be raining soon. So I'm gonna have my hair twisted again because it rains 9 months out of the year. And I literally would see folks come up to me and go, oh wow, I've never seen that before. And I can see their hand in slow motion reaching out to come touch my hair and pat me on my head. And that's like the one thing you should never, ever, ever, never do if you want to keep this hand, right? So here I am moving in slow motion like the Matrix, trying to get out of their way to politely let them know this is not about to happen, right? But it's because they'd never seen it before. And then you fast forward, I go to South Africa for vacation and everybody has their hair like mine. So it's stuff like that, you know, it's the guarded because of the extremes and, you know, the position that I carry, and there are folks out there that take it too far. And then it's guarded because some folks just don't know boundaries and they don't realize that what they're doing is not okay. And having to discern between who's who when there's one of me and hundreds, you know, hundreds and hundreds of individuals out here that I come into contact with, you can't just be naively open with everybody.
What do you think the biggest misconception is about you?
When I first got here, there was this, ooh, she's a badass. Ooh, and her last name is Outlaw, you know, and that's cool, but that's not who I want to be remembered as. Yeah, I handle business when I need to, but I'm not a hard ass like that. Again, I can be, but I'm not. I want people to know that I'm just a regular person. I am approachable, and that's important for me. I mean, I could walk away and be like, I don't care what you think about me, but that's important to me because I want people to know that police officers are like that. It's, you know, when all you see is a uniform and all you see is a badge and a gun, you forget that there's a person with feelings behind that.
You said that you have a 3-year contract. So you're almost at the end of that. You've got another year, right?
Right.
As I calculate. Do you think you're still going to be here? I know that Portland has a reputation of chewing up mayors and police chiefs.
You know,
what do you think?
Shoot, 2 months in, people are asking her, are you going to stay? Are you going to stay? Like, where am I?
I waited
Where am
2
I
years.
going?
Okay, yeah.
You waited 2 years, so thank you. Here's the thing. When I was touted as the first African-American female police chief, that carried a lot of, it means something, right? It absolutely means something. But initially, it can work, or it did work against me, because now you got people saying I got the job because I'm an African-American female, as opposed to my qualifications. And the reality is that I had to spend more time showing why, or having to prove why I'm qualified or competent, instead of just coming into the job and doing my job like other folks that don't look like me get to do all the time. They get the benefit of the doubt. I had never been referred to as a diversity hire in my life until I got here. And so that's just me, and I happen to be visible. I'm the chief of police. I have girlfriends here that are also first, and they're dealing with the same thing. To answer your question, the lifespan of a police chief, this is just reality nowadays. It's no longer 10 to 12 years or 5 to 7 years. It's really at about 3 to 5.
What is the answer to that question?
I don't know.
Have you come to one yet?
No, I mean, I'm at some point going to have to start thinking about it, but I'm not burnt out. I'm not, out there interviewing. Yes, people call me, but it really depends on what I want my next step to be.